Today we're going to look at my new Kel Tec P17. It's been out for 5 years. It's nothing new. There's a lot of videos on YouTube about this. Because I have my own channel, I like to do a little video on each of the new guns that I get. I got this last Saturday. This is called the tan model. However, as you can see, it's not really tan. It's got a greenish tint to it. But the pictures online on the ordering sites show it as a real desert tan. Desert tan. So I was a little disappointed in the color. I was hoping for a very tan gun. It's a 16 round magazine. It comes with 3 magazines. The gun has an ambidextrous magazine release. Pull it from either side. The magazines are all, except for the metal spring inside, they're 100% plastic. You can disassemble it by pushing the little button on the end to take it out for cleaning, but they weigh nothing. They're super lightweight. They're 16 rounds apiece, but the neat thing about it is, since they don't have any window to tell when you're fully loaded, they do have a little indicator on the bottom. Right down there, that little hole you see. When I put one more round in that, a little plastic rectangular piece fills that hole. And you can feel it in the palm of your hand when you're holding on to your magazine and loading that last round in. You actually feel that hit the bottom of your hand. It doesn't stick out past the bottom, but the skin of my palm feels that when it hits it, so I can tell that the magazine is fully loaded. So it's a 16+1, making it a 17 shot, and I guess that's where they got the name P17. They have a 30 round 22 Magnum also. I think it's called the P30. But anyway, it's because it holds 30 rounds. So they used to name them by how many rounds they hold, but their newest gun, the PR17, is named after the caliber of round that it uses, 5.7 millimeter. So I did a video on that one already. But at first I couldn't figure out why they called that a P17. That's not a 17 caliber. And now I know why. They used to name their guns like their very old Magnum, the 30 model and the 17 model. They name them after how many rounds they'll actually hold. The takedown of this is fairly simple. I'm going to get the round of it. It does have a safety, and it is an ambidextrous safety. So that's pretty cool. Ambidextrous everything. So, and you can work the slide with the safety in safe position. Some guns don't allow you to work the slide with the safety on. So I'm going to eject that one round. Now, to take it apart to clean it, it's very simple, and there's videos online that show you how to disassemble it further than the factory recommends. But the factory recommends you pull down on these little knobs. There's one on each side here, a lot like a Glock. You pull down on those while you pull the slide back, lift up the rear, and slide it forward off over the barrel, and that is as far as you are supposed to disassemble it according to Kel Tec. Now, some of the guys online have you take well, this has got the optic sight on it. Normally you have 2 screws on there that will take off this little plastic piece if you have the open sight slide. This particular slide is a $199 slide, or you can buy it already on the gun. It comes with a Viridian green dot sight. The sight is 100% plastic like the gun, and the gun is super light because of that. Unlike most guns that have a slide that goes the whole length, this just has that one that slides across the top. So the whole thing, the whole gun is plastic except for the steel barrel. It's super lightweight, plastic gun, plastic magazines, and this little bit of metal for the slide. But the Viridian sight that this comes with is plastic, very lightweight, weighs 0.4 of an ounce. And you can take the sight off, take this piece of plastic off, and then you can take some pins out, disassemble this part further, and get in there and do a deep cleaning if you want to. I don't know that you would ever need to, and Kel-Tec does not recommend that you disassemble it any further than this. To put it back together, you just put that back over the barrel, you pull down on those two little buttons again, you pull it back until it sets in there, let go of it, and it's ready to go. The most simple gun in the world to disassemble. The slide with the Viridian sight comes with a raised front sight so that you can co-witness, supposedly. However, I don't really see that happening, because when you've got it sighted in with this sight here, it's so far above that front sight that you can't see it. So I don't see any co-witnessing going on. But anyway, they said that that's why they put a raised front sight on this. If you get the standard slide with the fully adjustable rear open sight, this front sight doesn't have, I don't know if you can see it, doesn't have that little spacer on the bottom of it there. And so it would, it'd be lower. But you can get just the standard slide for this if you buy one with the Viridian optic sight on it, and they're between $60 and $80. Some people said they paid $60 for them, some people said they paid $80 for them. Or you can buy the gun with the standard slide on it, and then for $200 you can get the Viridian slide with everything already set up. So anyway, it does have mounts for your flashlight or laser on the front right there. And overall, it's a pretty cool gun. And it shoots very well. I got this last Saturday. I ran 3 magazines through it. That's 112 rounds, 4 different brands of 22 rounds, including the very terrible Winchester Super X that often don't fire in guns because it apparently has a harder case on it and it doesn't always fire. But I use those. In fact, I'm using those exclusively now just to use them up. But it fires everything. It hasn't had one hiccup yet. And I've probably only run about 125, 130 rounds through it. But absolutely no problems at all. So that says a lot for the gun too. Of course, it's not a new gun, unlike my PR17 that I had to send back to the factory to have fixed so it would extract and eject and feed properly, and now it does. They fixed it, it's perfect. But these have been out for 5 years, so they've pretty much solved all the problems on them. I've never heard of anybody actually having any problems with the 17. So we're going to do a little shooting today. The 17 comes with, if you get the slide, the Viridian optic sight kit, combo kit it's called, you get a inside waistband holster, which is useless as far as I'm concerned. I have never liked inside waistband holsters. And of course you get a trigger lock. You get a whole bunch of extra screws for putting that Viridian sight on other guns. Oh, and one thing I did forget to mention, it does have a threaded barrel. and it's right here. And it comes with a special tool to take this end off. You should always change it with the slide in place. Otherwise, your spring may fall out of it, and you get the little threaded barrel to thread onto that, so you can use your silencer. And that's about all that comes in that case. But it's well equipped. Street price on the standard one with the standard slide is about $158. You can't beat that price. If you get this model here, you're looking at about $360 street price, plus $20 shipping on either one of those. Okay, so let's see how it shoots now. Okay, that's 3 for 3. It does lock open after the last shot. Last shot hold open. My opinion of the Kel Tec P17 is very favorable. I had one misfire today. That's the first that I've had in about 150 rounds. And that was, of course, a Super X Winchester. And it had a good strike on the rim, but it didn't go off. But that's not unusual for the Super X ammo. They have a very hard case, and they are sometimes not able to be shot in some guns. I get a lot of failures in some of my other guns. This one's only had one failure so far, and most of my shooting has been done with the Winchester ammo in this. So one failure, I'm not going to blame the gun for that, because I know that ammo is bad ammo. So I would stay away from that one if I were you. I've shot the really cheap Federal Thunderbolts in it with no problems at all, and the standard Federal ammunition. So altogether, I would say it's a very reliable gun, inexpensive, lightweight, accurate enough to hit what you're shooting at. So I would highly recommend this gun. I've got a lot more shooting to do with it, and I'll probably have it for a lot of years, but it shoots accurate enough for me, and as long as it stays reliable, I will keep it. Thank you for watching.